What's up, fight fans? Thank you once again for coming through. Much appreciated. Remember, hit that subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel. All right, let's talk Kell Brook for a second. What? Kell Brook? Yeah, Kell Brook. Let's talk Kell Brook. You know, I was watching the Errol Spence Lamont Peterson fight, and immediately, and I'm saying this honestly, this is immediately after watching that fight. I didn't watch it live, so it's not like I was awake until 6 a.m. But immediately after watching it, I thought, I've got to watch the Errol Spence Kell Brook fight again. I've just got to. Because am I forgetting what I saw in that performance? Because I just saw Errol Spence run through Lamont Peterson, who is a good fighter. And some people might say a very good fighter. Not elite, don't get me wrong, but he's a good fighter. And I saw Errol Spence just mow him down like he was fighting a novice. He got caught a couple of times, but that's kind of what happened. So I thought, wait a minute. Kell Brook was better than this. So I put on the Kell Brook Errol Spence fight, because sometimes your brain does remember things that are highlighted all the time. So what my brain remembered about the Kell Brook Errol Spence fight was that Kell Brook quit, right? That Kell Brook got stopped, orbital bone, all those things. And that's kind of what media makes you remember, because you hear it all over the place. Kell Brook quit, Kell Brook should retire, blah, 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 bullshit. So I watched it. Kell Brook, between rounds 1 to 9, was neck and neck with Spence. Neck and neck. So Kell Brook was neck and neck with the guy that a lot of people think, or a lot of people consider, was the best, or is the best 147-pounder out there right now. Kell Brook was neck and neck with that guy. Punches to punches, strength to strength, combinations to combinations. Kell Brook, I repeat, was neck and neck with a guy that a lot of people are considering the best guy out there right now. And that's debatable, but the best. And the reason for me, and I watched that fight a few times, Kell Brook lost that fight because the gas tank just ran empty. Look, I mean, you could argue Errol Spence just was a bit better. I'm not going to dispute that. But for me, watching that fight, the gas tank just went boom. And once the gas tank runs empty, and you've got a monster in front of you like Errol Spence that just keeps on throwing, there's not much you can do. There's not much you can do. So why did the gas tank run empty? Well, simply because he struggles to make the weight. It's that simple. He struggles to make that weight. But I don't think he struggles to make the weight because he can't make the weight anymore. I think he struggles to make the weight because he doesn't live the life in between fights. I've seen Kell Brook personally, face to face, in between fights. He's quite big. I've seen Kell Brook on Sky Sports. A lot of people, you would have seen him ringside at fights. He does blow up a bit. He doesn't live the life. If Kell Brook lived the life like an Errol Spence does, or even, I dare say, Chris Eubank Jr. does, Kell Brook can make 147. And a fit and strong Kell Brook that lives the life, I'm sorry, is still a contender at 147. Easily. Easily. And that's after watching Kell Brook versus Errol Spence and what Kell Brook was able to do in terms of his performance for at least rounds 1 to 8, at least. Kell Brook needs to get down to 147. He has to. There's nothing at 154 for him. There's nothing. Lubin, a risk, not a draw. Hurd, a risk, not a draw. Lara, a risk, not a draw. Charlo will beat him. There's nothing at 154. At 147, there's Amir Khan now. At 147, I dare say there's a rematch against Spence. There's Garcia. There's Furman. There's Porter rematch. There's Crawford. All of those 6 fights are pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen. All of them. 154, Hurd is not pay-per-view. Eddie Hearn will try and sell it like it is. Lubin ain't. Charlo ain't. Lara ain't. Telling you now, if Kell Brook can live the life of a fighter, which he should do, Billy Joe Saunders has started to do it. If he can live the life of a fighter and actually stay in the gym between fights, I'm sorry, he's still a monster at 147, and he can cause problems to anyone, including Errol Spence in a rematch. Including. And that's just me watching the fight and then watching what Errol Spence done to Lamont Peterson. How he just ran over him, and maybe thinking, in my head, Kell Brook came off orbital bone surgery. I don't know what he boiled himself down to for the GGG fight to fight Spence. Kell Brook is still a force. Kell Brook is still a force, and I guess we need to see him against Rabchenko. But don't tell me Kell Brook, if he lives the life and he's fighting at 154, can't drop £7 to 147. I'm not having it. Of course he can. And for me, if I'm Kell Brook, I'm sorry, I've got to go 147. Does Kell Brook think Amir Khan's going to go up to 154 to fight him and lose all his advantages? Of course not. He's got to go to 147 anyway. Kell Brook, if you're watching this video, get your ass to 147 because that's where all the money is. Please. Thank you.